Omo wahala don burst out too. I believe everybody must have seen the video of Hope Uzodinma lying to the general public that he has connection with the European Union and Canada, how he wants to take the Emolite to America, take them to Europe, take them to all that. But one thing that surprises me is that even when these politicians are saying these things, we still have gullible people who are listening, paying keen attention to all these lies and all that. It shocks me anytime we see this kind of crowd where these people will be lying. First of all, let's start with the video before we give you the response from the European Union. We're getting this feedback from a reporter on their Twitter handle. That's where I got this update. Now, listen to what Hope Uzodinma said, and listen to what the European Union answered to his comment concerning relocating youth to abroad. Now, watch this.
Let me tell you something. I have gone further to negotiate with the European Union countries and Canadian companies. They are sending us special areas of visible skill, which our youth will also learn. And by December this year, 4,000 Imo youth will be employed in Europe.
Now, when you look at this video, you are going to see a large number of youths. You can see plenty youths in this gathering. I don't know, maybe out of hunger, starvation, and poverty. That's why they are here, because everybody is looking for help. So imagine if election is coming. Of course, election is going to be by this November. Yes, this November now, coming next month or so. So Hope Uzodinma is just looking for any means to deceive the youth into voting him again. So look at the number of people in this gathering, and you understand the kind of damage that these politicians have done to our people, giving them fake news and all that. At the end of the day, the government will tell you, oh, we are looking for fake news peddlers. We will want to deal with them. If we capture you on the internet, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Is this not fake news? Now watch. Just finish watching before.
Once the employment letter comes, the governor will send an air ticket.
Unadasia, did you see such lies? This is Hope Uzodinma, a governor in Imo State, the current governor of Imo State. But the European Union has responded to this very lie. Breaking news, we are not aware of arrangement for provision of 4,000 jobs for Imo indigenes. European Union replies Hope Uzodinma. On 28 September 2023, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma gave this pledge during one of his vote mobilization tour ahead of the November 11th governorship election in the southeastern state of Nigeria. Just like what I said earlier, that this is another lie, to deceive the gullible ones into voting him to bring him back to power. Of course, we know that rigging works. Rigging is possible. And you know how he became the governor. It was declared by Supreme Court when he became the third contestant. They made him the number one governor. They made him number one instead of third, from third to one. Now he's looking for people who will give him that little push to be able to, remain in power again through maybe fraudulent means. Nobody knows. Now, Governor Uzodinma claimed that his administration has negotiated and reached an agreement with the European Union, EU, and Canadian companies to provide 4,000 jobs for Imo State indigenes. He also promised to pay for the flight ticket of the beneficiaries of this project. Reportera reached out to the European Union to verify this claim. First, we called the European External Action Service (EEAS) line +322/1111, where we spoke with a representative who revealed that such an arrangement was in fact not feasible because the EU as a body does not negotiate an employment arrangement with only monitors the workings of companies within EU countries. The representative, however, stated that if an arrangement was made with companies within the EU countries, it is vested on the companies to negotiate their terms with job seekers or partners, as this is a private sector arrangement and not subject to an endorsement from the European Union. Una dey hear wetin I dey hear so, we don read o. They further reiterated that they are not aware of such provisions and doubted its authenticity, as partnerships of this magnitude would not go through without close monitoring from the European Union, and as far as they were concerned, there weren't any such arrangement known to the body. Further correspondence with Europe Direct Contact Center via Europe Direct Contact Center at edcc.ec.europa.eu corroborated the deposit of the representative. As at the time of making this particular report, Reportera hasn't received a feedback on the inquiry from the Canadian government. A report will be made publicly available once a response is given. Una dey hear am? This is what a governor, the governor of Imo State is telling to the citizens of to Imolite. Look at it. Look at this kind of lie. Where will you go and see this kind of lie? And the people will still vote them. They go still vote them. They not be saying a joke. They will still vote him as you know they say and that. Maybe you don't see crowd. You don't see crowd. The crowd will vote Hope Uzodinma, and we will all be here. And they will push him. He will use that as a leg over to rig himself into power there. Let us take a look at the analytics of this particular matter now. Now, watch Arise News TV when they spoke about it.
The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, who is campaigning for a second term in office, announced an initiative to equip the youth in Imo State with contemporary technical skills. The governor, during his campaign on Tuesday, said that he has begun negotiations with foreign-based partners and that by December this year, 4,000 Imo youth will be employed in Europe. About 4,000 Imo youth will be employed by December. He'll send them their letters of, appointment and all of that. Some people have hailed it as a great initiative because obviously, diaspora remissions are great. But I mean, 4,000 Imo youths, are they employed in Imo State at this point as we speak, Dr. Abati?
Well, there's nothing great about the proposal by the governor. And this is why we tell politicians, if they don't have anything to say, they should just keep quiet. It's not important that you say something that doesn't make sense. Now, the crowd may be gullible at a time when many Nigerians want to leave the country. They call it the Jackpot syndrome. And, although the president and his wife went to New York And both of them were telling people to Japada.
I love that.
Because there's an enabling environment. Apparently, the governor of Imo State, perhaps having failed to provide an enabling environment and create jobs for people in his own domain, and Imo State has enough resources to be a center of productivity.
Excellent.
That the young people of Imo State will be gainfully engaged within the environment. But now you have the governor seeking a second term, preaching to the people that he will empower the people with skills so that they can go and get jobs in Europe. And he has talked to people abroad. And when the employment letters come, the state government will use state government money, the people's money, to buy tickets to send people abroad. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The logic of it appears grossly incredible. And that's why we say, look, it doesn't make sense. The primary responsibility of the governor should be to make Imo State into an industrial center, a center of productivity, and to create opportunities for the young people of Imo State so that they can have hope, they can get jobs in the environment. I think it's most strange. It's the strangest form of campaign that we have seen in recent times, whereby a governor, a politician will be telling the people in his area that he will send them abroad. Okay, let us even assume that happens. He sends 4,000. Then, of course, he's telling the rest of the people, that it's better to leave this state and go to Canada or go to Europe. Well, let him be advised appropriately. That at the moment now, in the UK, for example, in case the UK is one of the countries that he's targeting, Suella Braverman has been campaigning that, look, migrants should stay away. They should not come. And that there is an issue with the 1951 UN Convention on refugees, in case you even want to claim refugee status. On Tuesday, she's going to speak again against the European Court of Human Rights. The European Court of Human Rights is allowing all kinds of people to come into Europe on the grounds of human rights provisions in the law. So the same Europe that Governor Uzodinma is saying will give jobs, in fact, many of those countries in Europe don't want anybody to come. They prefer they stay in their own countries.
4,000 at that.
So what is 4,000 out of the population of Imo State? So I hope his opposition will pick this up and make heavy weather out of it. Maybe there will be other political parties who will say, well, we'll give you hope so that you will stay in Imo State, so that you don't run away.
Yeah, I like that. We'll give you hope. Or hope to the youth in Imo State. Hope. Hope.
Okay, so I want to critically analyze this. And let me dig deep. Yes, Imo has a lot of unemployment, in the States. And you will think that the government should be able to create jobs for people within. Also, in the past couple of months, Imo has not really brought in anything in terms of foreign direct investment. So I'm wondering, what are these foreign companies and everything, that he's talking about? And why do you need to pay thousands of... Because if you say, okay, averagely at the rate of 2 million naira per ticket, by 4,000, who's going to provide that money?
Economy.
Yeah, that's economy. No, the economy is benchmark. Economy is benchmark. Those youths will not be flying.
Expect Uzodinma to put them in business class.
So what are you saying, Dr. Abati? Wawulas is too much. So who will be paying? Because if you have that money as a state, you rather create schemes for people to be able to have jobs. But what he said is practically possible. Since he measured the digital economy, recently I was part of a scheme where we had, trained close to 5,000 people, digital skills. And when you give them that skill, actually, they can work remotely, so they don't need to travel abroad. Where you can give people digital skills, basic things like coding, programming language, and things like that. And they can be able to work for companies abroad. That was what made Andela popular, famous. Somebody I know, Talent QL, is also doing that. What's this called? Adewale Yusuf. It's also possible to be able to train them within and all of that. But I don't get this explanation. But if it's that light he's talking about, doing digital skills and train them,
no, it's not that light.
I say if
he said he will pay for flight tickets.
No, I'll be able to settle that. Nobody needs to, because that's a way of already to hopefully siphon money. That's when you're saying pay for flight ticket, it doesn't hold water. But what I'm saying, the point I'm making is that people can actually be given digital skills here, but it will make them work remotely. But if he's paying for flight tickets, I don't know about that one. That one is suspect.
So people have argued that people that work abroad, they bring money back home. So maybe that's what his plan is. Yeah. He wants to empower them to go abroad so they can work and bring money back home and even come back and teach, the Imo citizens.
So I think the APC have to be clear as to where they stand on this Japa situation. On one hand, because at least the last time I checked, he still belonged to the same party as the president. On one hand, the president is trying to ensure that Nigeria is suitable for people who have jackpot, who have gone abroad to come back home. Yes. Whilst on the other hand, another member of his party is campaigning with the promise that he wants to send even more people abroad. This person should go. Yes, president is jackpot and he is jackpot. And isn't it sad that jackpot or migration is being used as a tool for electioneering? In other parts of the world, the UK that was cited earlier, immigration is also used as a tool for electioneering, especially when it comes to conservatives and now even the Labour Party. Let us strengthen our borders. We don't, jobs for our UK people. Instead, we on the other hand are telling people that we want to send you away, not close our borders so that we keep our people or keep jobs for our people. Why? The disrespect. And then that's why the UK can decide to increase visa fees. So let's bear that in mind in part of the European plans in terms of the budget. They would increase, and then we are maltreated when we go to apply for visas. We're seen as it's such a desperate attempt. It's so attractive that a governor would use it as a tool to attract people to vote for him, that he would provide jobs, not in his state, not empower people, not create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive in his state, but he wants to send people abroad. There's a problem there. It should not have been seen. It should not have been said. It should not even have been thought of for him to bring this out. It is shameful.
Well, all right, Ayo. We'll take another story then. The Minister of Works and Housing, Dave Umahi, on Thursday locked out some members of staff of the Ministry of Works over lateness, prompting a protest by the aggrieved staff members. The minister reportedly arrived at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja ahead of some directors and staff in the morning and denied them access to their respective offices. The workers were later granted access to the ministry but proceeded to lock the entry and exit points of the ministry in protest against the minister.
You need to respect us in the first place. It is a must that you respect us. It's a must. Now, secondly, you need to carry us along. You cannot do this work alone. And you cannot import workers from outside to do the work for us. It is not possible. So what we want is total respect. What we want to fix this nation. If you had called us earlier and told us your grievances, then we'll be able to pass it across to our members. And once we pass it, anybody that now default, like I said, there are laid down rules and regulations in civil service. You give query. It's one of them. You don't just come and say, lock the case. Sir, we are sorry, with due respect, this is not state. This is federal.
Well, in fact, I saw the minister there, in fact, kind of apologizing to the civil servants that came late to work. I think this is unacceptable in every single way. Those people, I've never seen anything like this. This is what's happening in Nigeria.
And let's call it spade a spade.
Yes.
Our civil service needs major reforms.
This is nonsense.
People came late to work and you still have the infantry. But I don't also support the approach of the minister by locking the gates, because the truth is you can allow the normal civil service to rule.
Let me just say, what he said was he locked it so that he can go and address them. So he wants to know those latecomers, and that he was going to do that to address them. And
that process,
that's what he said.
I'm even sad. I feel ashamed this morning that as of now, government ministries do not have a clock-in, clock-out machine, whereas you come in and register your timeline. So if they had come late, you don't even need to lock the gate to address them. If you clock in, they know the time you came, and you issue queries when necessary. And when the query is a lot, then people start to institute action. So both of them, are wrong. The minister for going to lock the gate and say, don't come in, wrong. The civil servants, you should watch it. You see, that's how they don't come early to anything. You go to cover Parasata, you don't see them on ground. You know, all sorts of things just go in there. You go to some schools, you see teachers giving a goosey melon to students to be breaking and all of that. It's very wrong, and our civil service mindset is very warped in this country. I don't support that, but I don't also support you now locking the gates. All you just need to do is a clocking machine. You don't even need them to write attendance or something. Once they come in, they clock in at part time, you see all the data there, and you issue them the code where necessary.
Well, all right. Well said, Rufai. We'll take another story then. Nigeria's former vice president and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, on Thursday, submitted before a U.S. District Court that there was no basis for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's objection to the order of the magistrate court directing the release of his academic records at the Chicago State University. Atiku, in his reply, urged the court to overrule Tinubu's objection to the release of documents relating to his transcript, admission letter, and other records, and prayed the court to allow the order of Magistrate Judge Jeffrey Gilbert, who ordered that the academic records, as requested in his August 2nd application, be released not later than October 2nd. Tinubu had approached a U.S. District Court to stay the order till Monday, September 25th, when he would file his appeal against the order. Tinubu had argued that the documents sought by Atiku were purely for fishing expedition and not for use in Nigeria. I mean, I think this is a story of public interest, Dr. Abati. A lot of people, would want to hear all our reporting because we have been following this case back to back. Atiku has filed an objection. Tinubu had argued that Atiku was fishing and that the only thing to be released was his diploma certificate. Now that Atiku has gone to court to object to Tinubu's request, what do you make of that?
No, this is very straightforward. A basic principle in law is audi alteram partem. It means let the other side be heard as well.
Yes.
So despite the fact that the Tinubu team, his team of lawyers, had gone to a higher court to seek a review of the ruling by the Court of Judge Gilbert, the Judge Maldonado, had also made it clear that the other party will be heard anyway.
Yes.
So this is standard procedure. If you bring a matter, the other side will also be heard, and which is why there's always complaints here in Nigeria about ex parte injunctions that judges already issue. Elsewhere in other jurisdictions, they won't do that because the basic principle is that you must hear the other side. So let the other side be heard as well. However, all of this process will end by, I think, November 6th, and when the Apex Court decides, that's the end of it. And I addressed other issues in the past, but Section 285 says, 180 days window. So you could find a situation whereby, okay, this person will say one thing, the other person will say one thing. Meanwhile, the matter will have been decided, and the entire argument will be rendered entirely academic.
Right.
So we don't know what will happen, but we'll watch.
Right.
We keep watching.
We'll keep watching as always. We'll be here to report the news.
All right, guys, that'll be where we'll be ending this particular update as he take the go. Like I say, this European Union, they go ban Hope Uzodinma with all these lies. And his plan to, import migrants into Europe. Because Europe, as I speak to you now, is struggling with migrant influx in their country. Now, I hope Uzodinma use these tactics, take the campaign to deceive the general public that he has what it takes to lift them. Why would the governor be advising the citizens that he will take them away from their own state when he's supposed to create an enabling environment where they will stay and thrive and succeed? Rather, you are using abroad, to deceive people. Hope also you people are shameless. That's why any day I come here, I get so angry that I cause the hell out of a generation. You people are useless. Not just the useless. Rubbish. I bet we'll go another news. They are